That is, from which age children start the formal schooling in China?
Two types of schools, like public school and private school.
Private school in China, but majority of children go to government school. Who goes to
Yes.
private schools? Who goes to private school and why?
From villages. Where do they go? Where do they go? They go to the big city for their study, or they study in their local place in public school or something.
Starting from junior school, there are international schools. They follow the curriculum of, we call it as IB board, which is like related to UK and US board they follow.
College entrance exam. And we have another one, it's called 中考. 中考.
Steve, when you say that the education is sponsored by government and children go to public school, so you don't have to pay no fees at all, or how does it work? Hello everyone and welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this today's special episode, we are going to explore the educational system of two global giants, that is India and China. India and China both are emerging nations with a rich history and immense potential. Yet, when we dive into their education systems, we uncover a world of differences and similarities that go beyond the surface. Today, we aim to move beyond the binaries, exploring the pros and cons of these systems. And to help us get an insider's perspective, I am joined by Mr. Steve, a native Chinese speaker. Thank you, Steve, and welcome for joining me today.
Hello, Sonia. Hello, everyone. It's my pleasure to join the meeting, the interview, to talk about the education topic between China and India. I think it will be a very interesting discuss today.
Yes, definitely. So let me give a brief introduction about Steve. So Steve has masters in language learning. He is an English language teacher and Chinese language teacher. Currently, he is working in a northeastern city of China, that is Shenzhen. So welcome, Steve, once again, and thank you so much for your time. So, Steve, as you said, yes, I know it's going to be a very interesting topic and very interesting discussion. So let me begin with my very first question. That is, from which age children start the formal schooling in China?
In China, our children will start formal schooling at the age of 6. So at the age of 6, before that we have kindergarten time. So the formal schooling is exactly from 6 years old.
Okay. So I think it's very similar to India. In India also, we start a formal schooling from 6 years. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's same. Same.
Yeah. Right. So, before 6 years, the children go to kindergarten.
Yes, we have 3 years of kindergarten time. How about you?
Yes. So here also it's almost the same. So we do go to yeah. So here also the formal education, yes, it starts from 6 years. And before that, children go to kindergarten or play schools, we say it as. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So, Steve, my next question would be, so what kind of schools are there in China?
What kind of schools? You mean public school and private schools?
Yes.
Yes, we do have, two types of schools, like public school and private school. In China, the main form of the education is public school. It is sponsored by the government, supported by the government. Right.
Okay. Okay. So, you mean to say majority of the children majority of the children go to public school?
Yes. They go to public school, and this is the main form of China's education. How about yours? Is
Uh,
the government school the main form?
no, so we do have, government schools, we do have private schools, but people over here in India prefer to send their children to private schools and not to government school. Um,
Really?
yes, yes, because the education in government school is not that good. So that's
Oh,
the reason. So yeah. So Steve, my question
I
to
think
you
it's
is.
a that's the big difference. In China, the best school are government school, a public school.
Mhm.
So it's different from your side.
Yes, completely different. Yeah. So,
Mm.
Steve, when you say that the education is sponsored by government and children go to public school, so you don't have to pay no fees at all, or how does it work?
Yeah, yes, from the grade one to grade 12, the 12th year, we called it compulsory education,
Mm. Hmm.
which means we don't have to pay much. We just pay a little bit, even, in some place we pay zero money and we don't have to pay. So we can go
Okay.
to school for free. It's called a compulsory education in China.
Yeah, so Steve, we were discussing about public school or government school in China. So you are saying
Mhm.
that it's totally sponsored by government, and as a parent, you don't have to pay anything to school.
Yes, right.
Okay, right. So you are saying,
Maybe,
I think you were saying,
yeah, a small month fee, you know, it means nothing. So we pay very little in compulsory period of the education. Yes.
hmm.
So how about
So
you?
what you
What's the amount of your
uh,
payment? Yeah, like your son, how much he should pay per year?
Yeah. So, so first thing in India, we don't send our children to public school or government school. Because the education is not good, the facility is not good, and we have lot of private schools in India, and
Mhm.
all of us send our children to private schools. And the fees of the
So it,
private school, yeah, yeah.
please.
So the fees of the private school ranges from 1 lakh Indian rupees to 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs Indian rupees, depending on to which school
Okay.
you are sending. Yeah.
Okay. The fee are different.
Sorry.
The payment are different. The fee are different.
Fees are different. Yes. So it's like so if you so there are schools which ranges from it's like 1 lakh.
Mhm.
Okay, 1 lakh to 3 lakhs Indian rupees.
Okay. So 1 lakh is about how much money in your dollars? 1 lakh. How much dollars?
1 lakh in dollars would be, yeah. So it's $1,200. Okay.
Twelve hundred. Twelve hundred
Yes.
dollars. Okay. Okay. Yes, I
No.
think it's around 8,000 Chinese, money currency. 8,000. Okay, I know
Huh.
it. Yes.
Yes. Yes. So do you
I
think
think
it's
it's
expensive?
if you study in private school in China, you need to pay that money. You need to pay that amount of money.
We have
Similar.
you have
If you
to
go to private school,
you have to pay that much amount of money.
in
Oh,
private school in China.
yeah.
Mm,
So now,
yeah.
Steve. So what I told is $1,200. That is very
Mm.
basic. That is very basic. Okay. That,
Oh,
yeah, that's a basic. So it varies from $1,200 to it varies from $1,200 to
That's very basic one. Only for class. It doesn't include food or apartment. It doesn't include
yes.
that.
Yeah, and that
Okay.
also, like some schools, we have like let's say $1,200, and other
Mm.
schools they have around $5,000 also. So there are such schools.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's up to parents, decision how much they can pay and which school they want to send. So accordingly, you can send your child to. But
So
unlike China,
the
hmm, yeah,
okay.
tell
So
me.
the private school in India usually are in cities, right? They are not in villages. They are in cities.
In cities, yes, not in villages.
Okay.
Yeah.
So many, students from, from villages. Where do they go? Where do they go? They go to the big city for their study, or they study in their local place in
Yeah.
public school or something.
So yes, so they go to the public school, the government school. Okay,
Mhm.
even in big cities, we have government school. The people who are from poor background in India, those who
Mhm.
cannot afford their students or who cannot afford their children to send to private school, they have no option. They have to send it to they have to send them to government school.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. I
but
see. Okay.
the education in government school is not at all good. So
Mm.
that is something which is like we all are not happy with, I would say. So yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, so Steve, now as you said that you also have a private school in China, but majority of children go to government school. Who goes to
Yes.
private schools? Who goes to private school and why?
Private schools, there are some international school,
Mhm.
or some international school, or some, foreign countries. The students from other countries, they go to there, or some, there are a few among several private school. They are good, so they are good. So their parents want to send their children there, but that's not a big percentage. Maybe 1% or less than that go there. For very, very, rich family, they may want to go there, that this kind of place.
Hmm.
Yes, for that's the percentage is very low, very low.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Rich families. They are rich families, or some family. There we have some private school which are not very good, and some students, they don't have a high grade to enter the public school, so they have to find private school to learn. So that's another, part of students. They go this kind of place.
Sorry, what is the other kind of students? I didn't get that.
you know Other kind of students, they cannot enter public school because they don't have a good performance in study, and
Oh,
but they still want to continue the education, so they may go to the private school for further education. Yes.
okay. So they don't get entry into the government school or public school, so they have to go to the private
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
Okay.
There are two types. One is, for they're not very good in study, and another part is they have very good family, very rich family. They want to have their, unique or different kind of study, so they go to this kind of school. So
Mm,
yes.
got it. Yes.
Mm,
And when you say that they don't get entry into the public school, so does
mm.
the public school has some exam before they take the student to test their?
Of course, of course. So we have, from primary school to junior school, we have a very big, exam, and from the high school to college, we have another very important
Mm,
entrance examination. That's the, very important examination. So we have two big ones. I think from primary to junior, there's another one, but it's not important because we have, so we must, the student have, all of the students have to go to junior period.
Mm,
So
mm,
like, we have enough resources, we have enough schools, so they don't have a lot of pressure. But from junior to to senior, from senior to college, there are two very big, very important examination.
mm. So is it the one
Mm.
which called Gao Khao?
Yes, 高考.
Gao
One
Khao.
is called 高考. 高考 means entrance, college entrance exam. And we have another one, it's called 中考.
Uh,
中考. 中考 is from middle school, from junior to senior. It's called 中考. There's two
uh,
types of there are two types
okay.
of exam. How about
Right.
you? How about you? Do you have exam? Do you have important exam?
So now, currently in India, so we don't have exams till fifth grade. Okay, till fifth grade we don't have exams. So most of the schools don't conduct exams till fifth grade. But we do have
Mm-hmm.
exams. But our main two exams is one is the 10th grade. So
10th
one is
grade. That's
10th grade.
your son's age. Your son's grade.
Yes, yes, my son's age, 10th grade. And another one is 12th grade. Okay,
12th grade is about important.
12th grade.
Or 12th
Yes.
grade. It's similar like China's senior high school or middle
Hmm.
school. Senior grade, 12th grade, the students may be around 15 years old.
No, so 12th grade, so 12th grade will be 17 years old, 10th grade will be
Oh,
15 years old.
so 15 years old or
Yeah.
17 years old.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
Similar. From China's junior to senior, the student their age is 12 years old, and from senior to college, the student may around their age is 18 or 17 years old.
Yeah. So I think the college age is same because after 12th, the students in India also go to college.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So, I want to know that, the biggest exam is 高考, right? In China, it's 高考.
Hmm.
So, for Chinese 高考 or college school examination, we have similar standard. Like all of students in this country have similar standard. You know, uh, do you have this kind of? I mean, we have similar. We have same papers. We have same test papers. We have test
Hmm.
papers. We have same standard.
Hmm.
We go. So do you have this kind of exam, like all the country they have same test papers to
Yeah.
recruit
Yes.
the students?
So in India, like when the student is in 12th grade, okay, so that's a main exam, but we don't have the same exam. We have in India, we have basically two main boards. We call it as a board exam. Okay,
Mm,
there is a
mm,
state board and then there is a central board. Okay, so the central board is something which is, so if my son is going to central board and my friend's son is also in a central board, their exam will be same. Okay, then there is a
mm,
state
mm,
board. So state board is it's like for that particular state, like how you have
mm.
province in China, right? So we have
Oh yeah.
states, yeah, states in India. So it will vary from
Mm.
one state to another. Okay,
Okay, okay.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
we also have, there is another board, we call it as ICSE board. That is a different.
Mm,
So basically in
mm,
India we have three different kinds of exam. Okay,
mm, mm,
to which
mm,
to which school your child is going, so accordingly those exam. So state board is easier and the central board is, it's considered difficult than state board. And then
mm.
we also have international schools. Okay, so
Okay.
they
You
follow,
mean international college? International college or high school?
no, international school,
School. Okay.
starting
Okay.
from grade 1, starting from junior
Mm,
school. there are international schools, they follow the
mm,
curriculum of, we call it as IB board, which is like related to UK and US board they follow. So many
mm,
students or many parents who want their children to go outside to study, they send them to
mm,
these schools, but those schools are again very expensive, more expensive than what I said,
mm, mm,
right? So
mm,
that's it. So as you said, like for how in China you have a single exam throughout the country. No, we have
mm,
three different kinds of exams which happens. Yeah.
mm.
So
So how about your son? Which type of exam
yeah.
will he take?
So he is into central board. So we called it as,
The difficult one, the most difficult one.
yeah, it's called CBSC. Yeah. So the
Mm,
difficult one. Yes.
mm,
Yeah.
okay. So in China, I think you mentioned like international school system.
Mhm.
I think because I'm in Shenzhen now, I have I have some knowledge about like we do have some international schools in big cities, very big cities like Shenzhen, Guangzhou, Beijing, Shanghai. We do have this kind of international schools. Their children, yes, the fee is extremely high, and they also follow this kind of system. But it's very rich families' choice. It's not
Yeah.
commonplace people's choice.
Right, right. Yeah.
Mm,
Okay. So, Steve, you mentioned that, from grade 1 to grade 12, you called it as a
mm,
compulsory education. So that's why government sponsors it, or, government take care of that. So what happens after
mm.
that? If someone is going for higher education, then the parents have to pay the fees for that.
If you go to for the high school period, if you go to public school, the fee is not much. The fee
Mhm.
is not a big amount of money. Maybe 2,000 or 5,000 RMB. It's quite cheap. It's very
Mhm.
cheap. And if you go, we do have private schools. If you go there, yes, it's more expensive. It's more expensive. Maybe you have to pay like a 1,000, no, more than $2,000, like one year or one system, one semester. So they don't pay much if they go to public school.
Okay.
But it is not compulsory, so you have to pay something. You have to pay a little bit.
Mhm. Okay.
Mm.
So when you say little bit, how much is that?
How much is that? Maybe for around $600 or $700
For a year?
for a year.
For a year. Okay.
Yeah. From my high school, uh if you can have very good performance in school, you even don't have to pay. So we
Mm-hmm.
have scholarship there. We have some policy to support the students who are very good at learning.
Okay.
Mm.
Mm.
So
Okay.
I guess when you uh go to the high school, you have to go to the private school also, right?
Yes, yes, we have to.
Yes, you still have to pay more
Mm.
if you want to go to a good school, right?
Yes. Right. Right.
Mm.
Mm. Okay.
That's
And
that's the that's the big difference. That's a very big
yes,
difference.
very big difference, because we can't. So for us, education is not free. We have to. We have to.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have
yeah,
to think
yeah.
about that.
Yes.
So that's.
Because I think if the system, the education is very expensive for your country. So how about the students from the poor background? So do they have a lot of chance to enter the college? Do they have more chances? No.
No, that is the sad. That's a sad part. So the people who don't have money,
Mm,
they go to public schools or government schools. They don't study till higher levels and all. So they just go, and there are a lot of dropout rates. Unless someone is
mm,
very exceptional and they have a, their own merits, they may get selected and all. Otherwise, as I told you, education is not very good in them. So they, because the poor people, if they don't have money, they have to send their children to government school, because they don't have any other option and they cannot afford private schools.
Mm,
So they study, but it's not up to the mark. So they don't then go for very higher studies and all. They just drop out. So that's how it is. Yeah. So that's
mm,
the reason. Uh, many people, kind of. So they don't study. Yeah. That's it. Mm.
mm.
Okay.
Okay. So I
Yeah.
think yeah, it's pity for the village for students from poor family.
Yeah. Right. Right. Okay.
I think that's the good part of China's education is like our system is is equal, it's fair. It's
Yes.
fine. So even the poorest family, they still have the chance to to raise their children. Have the chance to go to a very good university. They may change their life from education because they can get education. If you try hard, if you are smart enough, you are try hard. You have the chance to change your family, change your
Right.
life. That's the
Yes.
good part. But even though it's fire, it's a fire system, it's an ecosystem. Still, the school in village, their quality is relatively lower, worse
Okay.
than in big cities because they don't have good teachers. The teachers don't want to go to the rural place. They want to
Mm,
stay in big cities. They have better salary in big cities. So still, even though the system is equal, the
mm.
you know the reality is not fair at all. It's not fair.
Yeah. Right, right. Okay.
It's the situation.
Yeah. And Steve, what is the mode of teaching in these schools, in your public schools?
The mode, I think, because we have so many students, we have big population as India. We do have a lot of competition. So no, the exam is for is for choosing the best one. Our students face a lot of competition. They have to focus on the exam. So
Mhm.
their study mode is more about how to improve their grade. So yes, I do think that there are some experimental or some interactive mode of teaching that exists in very good schools, but it's not for all. I think the mainstream of education in China is is for getting more knowledge for the exam. So
Okay.
that's also not satisfying because we're focusing on improve our performance in exam. So our teaching way focus on how to help students to get more scores.
Mm,
So in some very good schools, they still they do have good teachers. They know how to teach in very scientific ways, but most of them are not good enough.
mm. Oh, so you
Mm.
are saying it's more of kind of a rote learning to clear exams, to pass the exams, rather than, a lot experiential learning is not that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's some criticism in China for the education. Like we don't explore their potential in creativity or no- or their curiosity, their creativity. So we have
Mhm.
to change it. But it's hard to change.
Yes,
How about your
yes.
country? How about your mode of class?
Yeah, so in our schools also it's the same. It's like many schools are there which are focusing only on the exams. So as you said, the competitive exams they have to crack. So there are many schools
Mhm.
which are focusing on that. But now with the time, they're also, including many other activities where the students can explore different things, more of like hands-on training, more of like, giving them more exposure to things outside the book so that they can get, more knowledge and understand the real world. But still, I would
Mhm.
say it's still majority of the schools they are focusing, or majority of parents also focusing more on the competitive exams, and that's how they are guiding their children or students
Mhm.
also. Yeah.
It's quite similar.
Yes, yes, it's very similar, quite similar. And
Mm.
yeah, so Steve, in these public schools, so what would be the mode of teaching? Do they teach it in English, or it is in completely in Mandarin?
In China, we teach English, but we don't teach in English. Okay, English is one of the main
Subject.
subject.
Mm.
Yes, but for other subjects like math or like
Science.
physics or chemistry, politics, history, we teach in Mandarin. We
Ah,
all of us teach in Mandarin, but we have a main subject is called English. So we
okay.
we teach it. Yeah. So English is a very big, very important subject in China because it accounts for a big percentage in the exam. So
Oh,
yes.
okay, okay. Mm.
But our English, the situation of English education is not satisfying at all because I'm an English teacher, right? You know it.
Mm.
I'm an English teacher. Uh, we our students we teach them how to read, how to write, but our
Oh.
listening and speaking spoken is
Mm.
very poor in China.
Mm.
So that's the situation. Really, not satisfying at all.
Yeah. I think that is the case with any language. I mean, unless you speak, you talk, that you will not become a fluent in that. So that's the thing. Um,
So yeah, it's a sad thing. Like after we learn, we start from very young, with English.
mhm.
Okay, we start from kindergarten or even from 6 years old or 7 years old, 9 years old. But after 10 years of education or learning English, we still cannot speak. We still cannot, understand what other people talk. So that's the situation. Our education of teaching English is a failure. I think it's not
Oh.
successful at all.
Mhm.
Mm.
So what could be the reason for that? What do you think is the reason for that?
The reason is because we don't have good teachers. We don't have good teachers because our teachers they are not good at speaking. They are good at reading. They are good at
Mm.
writing. They are not good at speaking at all.
Okay.
Their teacher, like the teacher's teacher, they cannot speak. And also we don't have foreigners in China. We don't have enough foreign teachers in China. Okay,
Oh.
we cannot get a good environment for learning speaking. So because we call it dumb English.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, yes. The reason is like our teacher don't teach that way. We don't use a interactive way to teach English.
Mm.
We use a very, a grammatical way to teach
Mm.
English. We teach them how to understand the grammar, how to
Mm.
remember words, and
Mm.
we don't tell them how to improve your speaking, how to improve your listening. Our exam is also it's a goal, right? Exam decides how we teach because our exam the main form is to reading comprehension and writing, and for small part of small part of it is about listening and speaking, but very
Mm.
small a part. So the students they focus on reading and writing instead of listening and speaking.
Okay. So
Mm.
now, like, so as you said that even though in school they teach English, but the outcome is not good, or still the students can't speak. Are there any students who are interested in English, and they take then extra classes, or they learn by themselves and they improve their English proper well? Do we have
Yes,
such?
there's yes, very for very small amount students they have interest because they don't have to they don't have to go to speak to foreigners. So their main focus is on 高考. Okay, it's for
Mm,
college examination.
mm,
Even though some students they are interested in it, they may find teachers like they may find some teachers online to practice, but it's
okay,
not many
fine.
students. Uh,
Okay.
but for the student for the young student like primary school student and middle school student, if their parents they have
Vision.
they think English is important, they may
Mm,
find foreign teachers to practice. Yes,
okay.
but the percentage, is a very small amount
Very
of
good.
people they do this. Mm.
Okay.
So like
Mm,
I know that English is it's a big language in your country. That you must use English to teach, right?
yes. Yes. So we use English all of in all the private schools that where our most of the students go. It's the mode of teaching is English. So we
That's
we teach English. Yeah. But
mm.
Steve, uh, nowadays when I meet some people who are from China, and I see, but I have observed that they could speak good English. So how have they, like you, or I have met few other people, they could speak good English. So how they have learned it?
How old are they? How old are they?
Like maybe how old, if I have to say, like let's say late 20s or early 30s.
Okay, so yes, because my major before my college life, I cannot speak at all. I
Okay.
cannot speak at all. Uh,
Okay.
I study language. I study English in college.
Hmm.
For some people, they do have interest in English. They learn after the exam. you
Hmm.
know we do have some foundation, like we can read, we can write, we have vocabulary, we do have some foundation. But
Hmm.
after that, if they have relationship with foreigners, they have they have some working need, they have to
Hmm.
use it to work. they
Yes.
may they will learn English. They will learn English, by themselves. They may learn English from other teachers. They will find their way to learn English.
Hmm.
Yes, there's some, but yes, you may have 10 friends or 50 friends from China, but it's still small amount of people. If you go China and you on the street, you talk with them English, you'll find few of them can speak.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
understand you. Maybe a small amount of people they understand you. It's not
Yeah.
not not many. Mm.
Right. Right.
Mm.
Okay. And now, Steve, is there, I mean, are there any professions or careers?
Uh, in China, we are, you know, the students, the majority of the students, they want to learn science. They want to learn
Hmm.
science.
Okay.
Yeah, we have two ways. We have two ways, two kind of choice. One is science.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is some like literature or language, or this
Mm.
kind of part. It's called art.
Okay.
Called art.
Or
Yeah. Yeah.
humanities. Yeah, we
Yes.
call.
So
Yeah.
there are two ways. There are two ways. More if they have talent in science, the way they
Mm-hmm.
will choose this way. Yes.
Okay.
Most people they choose to learn physics, math, and chemistry, biology, and a
Mm-hmm.
few of them learn politics, history, literature, language. So,
Hmm.
maybe 80% of them will choose, the
Science.
science major.
Okay. Okay.
They want to be engineer, they want to be doctor, they want to be like software, like
Mm.
AI intelligence, artificial intelligence,
Yes.
that kind of major.
Okay.
So they want to learn their family. Their family don't want their kids to learn politics,
Mm.
history, literature, because they cannot make a good living
Mm.
with this kind of major. They will learn that kind of major.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I think it's very same in India as well. That's what
Mm-hmm.
that's what majority of parents think, that science is the good option so that you can have good career. But now again the trend is little bit changing. So now,
Mm-hmm.
yes, yes, trend is changing. Parents are okay if their students are interested in arts. If their students, if their children are interested in taking, humanities like politics, economics, history. So there are psychology, journalism. So there are many such students now we are seeing, but some years back, that was the trend that many of the students want to go into the science because they used to think that science has good career. But here in
Mm-hmm.
India, apart from science and humanities, which you said like arts, we also have a third stream. We call it as a commerce. I'm sure you also have the commerce where they study business studies and accountancy. Do you have such stream or such subjects
Yes,
in
yes, yes. You know, yeah, accountancy, right?
accountancy?
It's kind
Hmm.
of finance. They do
Yes.
like that. No,
Okay.
students do like that kind of major. They like that kind
Mhm.
of. So yes, but laws like law major, they like it.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
for major like Chinese literature or English literature, like
Mm.
history, they may think is not good major because they cannot make a lot of money after graduation. And
Mm.
yes, if the students they are really good at it, they really have interest in it, they will choose that. But the parent, their family wants their children to learn the major about science,
Mm.
about,
Okay.
about law, about the finance,
Mm.
economy, like that kind of major, like useful major. They call it a useful major. For like psychology, literature, they call it useless major. We call it
Okay.
useless major.
So
Mm.
parents call it like that.
Like useless. They're useless after graduation.
Okay. Okay. Got it. I think it's like yeah. Okay. So, Steve, is there a concept of tuition classes or coaching classes after the school?
Yes, that's that's big market in China.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big market in China.
Okay.
We have tuition class after school. You know, so many people, so many students, they they study study after school in tuition class. They
Mm.
are they face so much competition, so they want to improve their scores in the exam. So they do study from your private tuition school, institution.
Mm-hmm.
So how
Okay.
about you? Do you have that kind of
Mm,
tuition?
yes, yes, we also have. We also have, like as you said, for the entrance exams and all, we have very big institutes or big tuition or coaching centers here in India,
Mm,
where students go after the school hours, or sometimes even they are integrated with the school. So in the school they will teach for some time and then they have to go for the coaching classes to learn from there. And those coaching classes are specifically preparing students for the exams. So that's like
mm.
that, how the exam is going to come, how the questions are going to come in the exam. So those coaching centers prepare students for it. So it's a big market. Again, in India also it's a big market. Um,
You know, okay. There's a story in China like In the past 2 years, our government
Yeah.
want to ban it. Want
Yes,
to
yes. I because I
stop
thought
it.
they have already banned it. No, they have not.
Yes, we ban it for 1 year or 2 years,
Uh-huh.
but it's kind of thing you cannot stop it. It's a thing you cannot stop it, right?
Hmm.
So now, uh, now so many people are still studying in a
Oh,
institute. The policy is not that strict now. It's not so
okay.
strict now.
Okay.
So yes, we had 2 years. We tried to stop it, but
Hmm.
failure.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So I mean,
Mm.
so government knows that still the tuition centers and coaching centers are going on.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they know it that they are going on and they don't control it too much.
Mm.
Like if you have a good place to teach, if you have enough teachers or good place, a safe place, you can
Mm-hmm.
teach. But we don't support it. We don't support it at all.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want. Yeah, we don't support it. Our government don't support it. Government doesn't support it, but the family need it.
Hmm. Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
And
think that's no country can stop it. Maybe
yeah, yeah,
nobody.
because yes, because I remember reading it or seeing it in a news that the Chinese government has banned the tuition classes and all. But yes, as you said, maybe they tried, but it was not successful. Yeah.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah.
And what about homework? So, do students get a lot of homework from the school?
Yes, they
Hmm?
they got a lot of a lot of homework after school. They have to. Some students they work very late. They started very late. They have to finish their homework. Maybe some students they have to finish do their homework until 11 o'clock in the evening or 10 years
Oh.
10 o'clock in the evening. They have to work very late. Yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
have, that policy, just we mentioned the policy. The government has good intention. They want to, like don't let the students or parent family have so much pressure from study,
Yeah.
but we have exam. We have compete with other students. So
Mm.
even the teachers in school, they want
Mm.
their students have better scores, so they
Mm.
will give more homework to them. There are a
Okay.
lot of homework,
Mm.
so much.
Okay. Okay. And
Mm.
so
How
how
about
yeah, sorry, you
how
were
about,
saying.
but how about you? Your son? Does he?
Um
Is,
ye-
is, is he working on his homework now?
no. I think
No.
no, not much. Not nowadays they are not giving much homework to students. Or I don't
Mm.
know, maybe my son doesn't tell me, I don't know. But no, but overall in schools they have I think they have become little, lenient in terms of giving homework and all. So they don't have much homework. Okay, but again, it
That's good.
depends. Yeah, again, it depends from family to family. Like as I told, if
Mm.
someone is preparing, or if someone's is preparing for entrance exams, then after school they have a lot of tuition classes, and they will keep on studying till 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the tuitions, and then they come back, and then whole day goes in studies. But I think
Mm.
from school they are becoming little lenient, and don't have kind of much homework. Yeah,
Mm. That's
yeah,
good. That's good.
right. And so how important is the sports in Chinese or in a government school in China?
For sports, when I was in high school or middle school, they don't, spend much time. We don't spend much time on sports.
Mhm.
So I think it's not good at all. I should have more sports, more, exercise. I think the country, the government, they also realize the situation like our health condition in among students not good in not good.
Mm-hmm.
So we are encouraging students to have more sports every day. Now for primary school or middle school, we have every day we have one PE class. Every
Okay.
day we have a PE class. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. Before, 1 year or 2 years back, we don't have enough PE class. We don't have enough PE class. We focus on, a lot of time on study, homework. So we realize it, we realize it, but we're changing it, but it's still not satisfying. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
Yes, I
And
know that your son is, he's playing sports, right?
yes,
He can
yes.
play sport very well. He can play
Yeah.
football, right? But we don't play much,
Oh,
sports or football. Mm.
okay. Mm. So what happens, like suppose if some child he is good in sports, okay?
Mm.
Say if some child, like from the childhood he's playing particular sports, it can be any sports, let's say swimming, or let's say football, and if
Mm.
he or she is doing good in that particular sport, then does the school support that, or how he or she will do his education along with the sports? Any is there any support from the school or from the government for such students?
We if we only support the best one, the
uh,
best sports,
okay.
because if you are very good, you are talented in sports. Maybe you
Hmm.
are talented in ping pong, table
Hmm.
tennis, or swimming,
Hmm.
or football. You maybe some, sports government, sports officials, they may come to select you to do that thing. Okay,
Okay.
so they may, select you to practice that kind of game professionally.
Hmm.
But in school, we don't, support have enough support for these kind of students, because if you have talent but you have a lot of homework, your talent is nothing. You cannot develop your talent
Hmm.
enough if you have so much homework at school. So even they support you, but
Hmm.
you have to study. You cannot balance. So because that in this way, so we have our, like China's football. Our football is not good enough.
Hmm.
China's football is not good enough, because we don't have the good environment, system to develop this kind of students. We have to. He has to study. He has to. If he want to play very well, there's no way, because you have to you cannot balance. You have no do not have enough, training resources, or you don't have enough time to practice. So I think that's why we don't. Our football is not strong enough. Well,
Hmm.
we are changing it, but it's the situation now.
Okay. But then how China wins so many gold medals in Olympics, and how many medals? So from where those kids are coming?
We have children to, practice that kind of game. We have professional. We call it uh, like a sports. We have our sports team. We
Mm-hmm.
have a sports system. It's not.
Okay.
It's different from the normal education. We have a branch to develop the sports professionally.
Hmm.
So like ping pong, maybe they are 12 years old, they or 10 years old. They
Hmm.
were found by the coaches from government, and they recruit them to study in, in Beijing, or in their provincial team. They do it every day, every day. Okay, they don't join the school. They don't join public school. So that's
Oh,
why we have a lot of Olympic medals. So
oh.
it's
So
different.
so okay. So such children, they don't go to school. They just focus
Yeah, they don't
only
go
on.
to school.
Oh, so they focus only on sports.
Yes, they focus on sports. They don't focus on their study. So
Oh.
that's also a sad story. So many students, if they cannot win the gold medals, right? If they cannot win the golden medals, their future is
Mm,
not promising at all,
yeah,
right?
because they don't
So
have
they
any
cannot,
backup.
yeah. So
Yeah.
so that's why the parents, they don't want their children to learn sports, professionally, because they think, if they cannot win gold medals, how will their children do? So so we that's also a aspect that our government want to deal with, as how to balance, how to find the talent in school, how to develop their talent in the campus.
Hmm.
So we are finding ways. We are finding ways, but uh, we focus more about on study. We think sports is not a it's not good way to for their life, for the children's life. So that's the situation.
Yeah. So I think it's a bit different here in India, because
Mm,
in India, so now there's a more focus on sports. So in schools also they have their lot of focus on the sports. They have their own team for different sports like
mm,
football, cricket, swimming,
mm,
basketball. So no, many such. And so that school teams. So they have, let's say in football they have a group of 15 to 20 kids which are playing, and then they have inter-school competitions. So between the school
mm,
they have competition, and
mm,
those
mm, mm,
players, they keep on learning within the school. They also join some clubs outside the school, and
mm,
from there only they'll progress, and they go to,
mm,
let's say, national team. So where they play,
mm,
first they go to state team, then they go to national team, and that's how there are many such players who have developed themselves like this. So for such
mm,
students, what school gives lot of support to them. They conduct extra classes for them, or if there are exams, then exams will be conducted, separately for them. And
mm,
it also gives them some kind of uh, uh, so let's say if the student has gone for some competition, so they give him a attendance. They will not mark him as absent. So like that, there's a lot of support from school. And now it
mm,
in India, a lot of parents also, they are also supporting their child in sports. So they say, you
mm,
have to balance both. And we have seen there are many such good students who are good in studies, as well as they are doing good in in sports as well. So I think that's again
mm.
something which is little different from China.
That's the best way. That's the best way. Like you can combine sports and education, right? You know,
Right.
in China, our system separate. We separate sports and education. We separate them. So that's
Mhm.
why we are solving it. We are solving it. We are solving this problem. Like how to combine education and sports
Yeah.
together. But we're doing it. Because in the past we were very happy because we got so many medals in Olympic Games. But
Mhm.
now we don't have enough. We don't have, happy. We are not happy so much because we have to use a scientific way to let the sport, let the the kids to grow naturally. They don't they can balance study. They can balance study and sports. they develop their sports naturally instead of, spend 10 years
Mm-hmm.
only on sports. That's 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 not good. That's not good. That's not what we want. We don't want just medals. We want all the students have good body. We want
Mm.
every student body health. So I think that's the goal of our country. But there's it's a long way to go. It's a long way to
Yes.
go.
Right. Right.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. And Steve, how much pressure does the parent puts on children to study well? So does parents put a lot of
Yeah,
pressure?
parents, of course, they have so much pressure on this thing. In China, we have so many students. We have so many students. You know, in this like these years, we don't have enough job opportunities, right?
Mm.
We don't have enough job opportunities. So parents they start to realize, yes, we need good education. We need our students. The best way for the best thing for the kids is to learn well, to go to a very good university, and to have a skill, and they can live a good life. So they do know education is very important, even from the city to the village to the rural places. Every parent know education is important. If you don't have a degree, it's hard to find a good job. So
Mhm.
now they want they give their children a lot of pressure. Yes.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. And
So how
now,
about you? Do you have pressure? Do you have pressure for your kids? No. No,
um,
not much.
not much. Now, I mean, again, again, it varies from family to family for sure. But
Mhm.
overall, what we are seeing nowadays, uh, parents are not, putting or pushing students or pushing their children to, yes, definitely there are some minimum expectations, and if child is good, he or she should, use his or her talent to grow, and there are always be advice from the parents and all. But nowadays many parents have become very liberal. They asked children or their child to choose whatever they want to study. So I think that in that way we are a lot more liberal to kind of give the more freedom to um, uh, child, so that he or she can choose their career, or he or she can choose their what they want to study. So but definitely there is always an advice from the parents that you have to do well. You can't be like very casual and not study and all. But not much
Mm.
now, it has come down a lot, I would say.
Okay. I think, Sonia,
Yeah.
uh,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think I think you're
Mm.
like you are representing parents in big cities, right? You are
Mm-hmm.
representative because your situation is different. Maybe for more ordinary ordinary family,
Mm.
like in smaller cities, they still want their children to behave very well in school, right?
Mm.
In very big cities, they realize they know that the students should have pursue their passion, their talent, right? So the children just need to try their best. That's enough. That's for educational for the parents who have good education background, have good knowledge in education. But for normal parent in both in
Mm.
India and in China, they still put
Yeah.
much pressure on the students,
Yes,
right?
right. I think yes, true. Maybe yes. As I told, it's vary from family to family. And what you said, yes. So what I see around me is like yes, in big cities and here, the people who are from the same kind of surroundings or same kind of environment come. they have become little liberal, but yes, if someone is from small cities, they may still have that you have to do well in your studies and study well, like that. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. So, Steve, I think I've come to my last question now. So, how is the
Okay.
young generation affected by digital technology with mobile phones and video games, and how are you seeing that in China?
Yes, they do, have work. They do influenced by the technology a lot. Some students they want to play video games. They want to play video games, but in China, we are controlling it. We are controlling it. We don't want the student under 16 years old or 18 years old to play for long time. So we have policies. We are keeping regulating. We are keeping controlling the this kind of thing. Yes.
Hmm.
So, but yes, some students really got addicted in this kind of thing. Mm,
Hmm.
Yes, they are.
So
They are. They are.
yeah. So how are you controlling? I mean, what are the policies, or how are you controlling the students not to use those things?
Like in TikTok, we don't want the kids to show their face. They cannot show their face on TikTok.
Okay.
To do like before you so many young people they want to be like to show on TikTok. They want to be famous in TikTok. But
Mhm.
now we stop this kind of thing because we don't allow students or children under 16 to do a
Show
live
the
show.
okay. So are the students allowed to take mobile phones in the school?
No, they're not allowed to take mobile phones to school. It's
Okay.
forbidden. It's
Okay.
forbidden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
And
it similar in?
yes, yes. So in students are not allowed to take mobile phones in the school as of now. Right. Right. Yeah. Okay. And what about the video games? Do they play a lot of video games?
Yeah, they want to. They want to.
Okay.
The parents have to set rules for them.
Hmm.
They want to. Students want to play video games. The parents
Okay.
have to limit that time.
Okay. So the parents
Yeah.
have to control them.
Yeah.
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 Okay. And
Right.
do they have their own mobile, and from which age they have their own mobile phones?
It depends. It depends. Maybe some middle school students they have one. Maybe it
Mm.
depends their parents. If
Yeah.
they want one, the parent agree, they will have one.
Mm.
Not, you know, we don't have exact
Okay.
age. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe most of them may have a phone after a college exam, I think.
Right. Yeah. I
Maybe
think.
they have a very cheap one in high school
Hmm.
because they have contact with their parents, but they may have a very basic phone without the function of downloading any apps. They may have
Mm.
such kind of phone at school, and they may contact the parents and talk with the parents sometimes, but not for smartphone. Smartphone, but no parent want to give their smartphone too
Mm.
early.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, right. And I think in India, also it was the same. We didn't give phone to, children till I think 10th grade or 11th grade. But because of the COVID, when we had this online classes, when there were no
Mm.
school and lot of, everything was happening online, then during that time, the change has happened. So where, because the everyone, the father is working on computer, the mother is working on laptop, so the child also
Mhm.
has to attend the classes. So that is when,
Mm.
like, many of the students or many of the children got access to these mobile phones, or iPads and all. So that's how that now I think in India, the child gets the mobile phone, if he's like I think 13, 14 or 13, 14 years, they
Mm,
have their own mobile phone nowadays because of
mm,
this trend. Yeah.
yeah. Same.
Okay. Yes. So, Steve, anything else you want to tell about, or you want to say about?
Nothing else. I think we can discuss later. If we have more topics, we can discuss later.
Sure, but I
Yeah.
think we had a good conversation, and I think the major difference is the the in China, most of the students are going to government school, but in India we can't think of that. And
Mm-hmm.
something which is very common is the pressure of exams or competitive exams, which like again we have here in both the countries,
Mm,
and this digital age or digital technology has also affected, but I think in China you already have some policies and regulation in place, but in India we still have to kind of implement those, or see how it can be done. Yeah. So,
yeah.
yes. So, with that, Steve, thank you so much for your time. I think it was lovely discussion, and maybe we'll come out with more topics, between two countries, and see how can we, discuss about that. Yeah. Okay, then.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Steve.